All right, we are live. Let me find this link.
Yeah.
Where do I get the link?
Cool here.
Okay.
So the highest over/under game on the slate is
fellas, we are live right now. I'm about to tweet out the link. I'm gonna drop the link in our chat quick too.
The highest over/under game on the slate.
Fellas, we are live right now. I'm about to. Okay.
Well, why was it so delayed?
Because it's gonna record. Like, it's fine if it's delayed. Like, that's what they'll see.
It just sounded weird.
I know. Twitter, tweet this out. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna tweet this out and get going. Fuck that Twitter password. Are we helping make a line today too, right?
Yeah. I had no idea the highest over/under was Packers Seahawks. I thought it was Oakland, Tennessee. I just assumed.
So did I. Is it really Packers Seahawks?
Yeah, it's 51.5.
I thought Oakland was higher. Maybe not.
They're 50.5.
Damn. All right. How many viewers we have in here? One watching. Okay, I just tweeted the link out. So, welcome to the first, fantasy forecast, live AM forecast. We got the squad here, repping the shirts. We got me, Ben, and DFS Clutch Boy. What's up, guys? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
What's going on, guys? Happy to be here. Week 1. Let's get it going.
Let's do it. So we're gonna run through every game. We're going to answer Q&A, lineup questions, lineup construction, both season long and DFS. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We'll for now just go game by game. Over under matchups, spreads, and just talk about plays we like. So, first game we got at noon, got the Jets and the Bills. Over under a 41, and Buffalo's the 7.5 point favorite. Just gonna open it up to the floor here. What do you guys think? Who do you like?
I mean, the obvious pick here is LeSean McCoy just because of his workload, but I think he's gonna be a popular cash play. If you're not going, I mean, you can even go David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, but I mean, LeSean McCoy's gonna have some huge ownership.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, what do you think, Jake?
Yeah, 1 second, guys. I'm going to move my computer over here. But LeSean McCoy is the obvious cash play. He's going to get a lot of carries. He's going up against a Jets defense where they should be ahead pretty much the entire game. So those carries are going to be pretty safe. So LeSean McCoy is definitely a great pivot off of Bell or David Johnson in your cash games. Definitely like that play a lot. All in on LeSean McCoy today.
That's a good point. The Bills are favored by a little over a touchdown, so they should be leading the whole game, and they don't really have a passing game as it is. So,
yeah. I mean, I honestly, personally, I am going the route of fading Johnson and Bell in cash, just because of LeSean McCoy's workload. Think about it, he has no competition. Gillislee's gone.
He's going to get at least 25 carries, at least.
And their head coach said that they're going to give LeSean McCoy as many carries as it takes to win the game. That could be upwards of 50 fucking carries. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like, the Bills have no passing game. I'm pretty sure Jordan Matthews is playing, right?
Yep, and Zay Jones.
Yeah, we got a LeSean McCoy question. The bearded mage on YouTube is asking if we like McCoy for the price over Bell in a GPP. What do you guys think?
I personally do. I am a little bit afraid of playing Bell in any kind of format today, just because the Steelers are on the road and they tend to play a lot worse on the road. And McCoy's just safe for those carries, so I think he's going to get production. I think McCoy's going to get 3 yards and a touchdown. So I think, honestly, if I had to choose, I'd go McCoy over Bell in a GPP or cash.
Yeah, honestly, I don't mind that for cash either. I think for the price tag, you're getting almost $1,000 savings. You're getting like an $800 savings for someone that could produce the same, if not better.
Exactly.
It allows you to spend up maybe at a running back too, a wide receiver, tight end. I don't know. I like it. I'm going the route of going McCoy over both Bell and Johnson in my cash game lineup. So I obviously have no problem with it. I think it's a great idea.
Let's talk about the Jets side of that game.
Yep.
Do you like anyone on that team for fantasy purposes?
Yeah. Especially in tournaments, I am infatuated this week with Robbie Anderson. Both season long and DraftKings. I mean, in season long, you're probably not playing him because your wide receiver 2 or 3 is probably better. But the targets are going to be there. They're going to be coming from behind every game, and he's the only wide receiver in New York, like the only wide receiver. Yeah. I love Robbie Anderson. That's really the only name on New York that I've considered.
What about
you guys?
Bilal Powell.
Jacob,
he's been getting some hype lately.
Yeah, I have seen that. What do you guys think?
I like Bilal Powell a lot on DraftKings. I think he has a cheap price, and they've got the PPR format over there. I think on DraftKings, he's definitely GPP viable. I think he's even borderline cash viable. I currently have him in my lineup. So I'm pretty in on Bilal Powell. Like you said about the just offense of the Jets in general, like they just don't have much going on. So they're going to be forced to use the weapons that they do have, and Bilal Powell is a weapon that they can utilize. Yeah,
I would agree. I mean, you got to think when McGowan's under pressure. I mean, I think he's going to get more snaps than Forte, honestly. Forte's old, regression's coming.
Oh, yeah, he definitely should. Definitely.
I mean, yeah, I definitely see him getting more carries. Travis, what's up? We see you in here. Joey Barone's in here. Isn't that
yeah, that's
what DFS account was that?
Joey?
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, okay, Stu. Okay, just to recap that game, Jets and Bills, really not much to look for. Honestly, Bills defense as well. Didn't talk about the Bills defense, but anytime you play the Jets, it's a viable play. But LaShawn McCoy, we love. He's up there as a top 3 back this week. I love Robbie Anderson. You can consider Bilal Powell, especially on DraftKings, but really you don't need to look at anything more than there.
Yeah.
Second game after Bills and Jets, we got the Falcons and the Bears, the juicy one. Atlanta's only the 7-point favorite, and the over/under is 48.5. The spread kind of surprises me. Over/under doesn't. We'll start with Ben. We'll start with the Falcons. Who are you looking at?
I don't know if I like Julio for cash. I'm kind of deciding that at the moment for cash. I mean, he's kind of a lock for, I feel like, 100 yards, 7 catches. He'll probably find the end zone. But you're really paying $9,000 for him, and if you want to fit in, McCoy or Johnson, it's going to be tough. So I'm currently debating, going that route of 3 decent receivers, or spending up for Julio. I think Julio's going to do well, but I don't think he hits value on FanDuel.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I like Julio, but it's that price tag that's tough. I mean, for Julio, you're expecting 15 out of him because you're paying $9K for him.
Right.
This is definitely a matchup where I think he can do it, but will the Falcons need him to do it? No.
Right. Yeah.
So
that's a good point.
I don't. Clutch, what do you think?
I mean, like you guys said, Julio's a very safe play. He's got a high floor. He's great for cash games if you can fit him. But like you guys said, he's very expensive. Yeah. I love Matt Ryan. I love Julio. I just don't think personally that I can fit him in my cash games.
Right.
There's guys like David Johnson. There's guys like Le'Veon Bell that we want to fit in our cash game. So playing both of those guys, Matt Ryan and Julio, just doesn't seem realistic. And I don't think the reason for that is I don't think their ownership's going to be that high. So I think you can look to pivot to them in GPPs just because I don't think that a lot of people are going to go that route. You can play Matt Ryan and Julio Jones in GPPs and kind of punt your running backs and differentiate your lineup a little bit. And I really like that option a lot.
Yeah. So obviously we talked about Julio. The other big pieces on Atlanta are obviously in play. What do you guys think about Matt Ryan, Devonta Freeman?
I like Freeman, but am I playing him in DFS? Probably not. If anything, it's going to be a GPP.
Yeah.
It's so hard to fade, Johnson and Bell or Gurley in cash right now. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, in cash, I don't think there's a good play, Devonta. But what do you think, Jacob?
I think just for Devonta, I'm going to play the wait-and-see approach because if you look at his last season, he played very well at the beginning of the season, but then he kind of tailed off a little bit. So I'm going to wait and see kind of how he, molds into this offense a little bit more as the season approaches. There's so many options for running backs, like you said. So I'm going to play the wait-and-see approach on Devontae. I probably have zero exposure.
Yeah, I've actually got some shares of Devonta Freeman, but strictly in tournaments, just because I think that the potential with them being ahead so much in this game that he could really go nuts.
Right.
But I'm limiting my exposure. I'm not trusting it in cash. I don't really.
GPP, what? If anything, that's the route I'm gonna take because his ownership's not going to be that high.
Yeah, I agree.
Hold on, I'm looking at this Roto-World update right now. It says Bears cornerback Prince Amukamara is not going to be playing, so he's their best cornerback.
Yeah,
one that was going to guard Julio.
Wow.
So now they're probably going to have to go to their second cornerback against probably the best receiver in the game, arguably. I don't know. Yeah. He's becoming more and more attractive to me, but it's so hard to fit him in because I want to play Gurley or LaShawn McCoy and Johnson as well. So I don't know. It's going to be a tough decision.
Yeah. I also
I'd give him I'd definitely give him an upgrade in tournaments, definitely.
Yeah.
I also got an update this morning from it was the Roto-World or Bleacher Report. It's actually Bleacher Report that said the Falcons plan on targeting Julio in the red zone more this year. He only had 9 red zone targets last year.
That's because they didn't even need him last year. That's the key difference about this year. They had a bunch of players that just kind of came out of nowhere, Taylor Gabriel and Sanu, and they didn't need to rely on Julio. So now you're going to assume these players are probably going to regress a little bit. Matt Ryan's not going to play as well as he did last year, so they're going to rely on him more,
Yeah, definitely. All right, so Falcons, obviously it's a potent offense. We know to use it. But with a blowout, we do want to limit our exposure, like we said. Bears side of the ball, what are you guys thinking?
Oh, boy.
Boy.
Probably nobody. I mean, you can obviously say Kendall Wright or Kevin White for GPP purposes just because, the same Robbie Anderson situation. They got to move the ball some way, and the Falcons are likely going to, focus their attention on stopping Jordan Howard.
Yeah.
But receiver-wise, maybe throw White or Wright in a GPP. Otherwise, I would stay away from that. And I'm not too high on Jordan Howard this week. I think he regresses this year quite a bit, even though the Bears have a really good offensive line.
Yeah.
I don't like him as much as some people do, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I think that's a play I think is just going to get burnt out. They're going to run him into the ground. I don't know what you think, Jacob, but I just don't like Jordan Howard that much this year. I mean, obviously he's going to be a weekly start, but I don't know.
I'm with you guys. I think he went a little bit high in season-long fantasy.
I agree.
I'm not that high on Jordan Howard. I think he definitely regresses, and the Bears is just an offense that I'm going to stay away from this week.
I see there's really no reason to resort to them. I mean, that's an offense you'll target when you're screwed with bye weeks or something like that.
Yeah, I think, honestly, trying to play the Bears is a little bit too cute, and you don't want to do that on week 1. You just want to play it safe. And
100% agreed.
The only enticing part of that is the Falcons were the 28th ranked defense versus the pass last year. So I think that's the only reason I would even consider White or Wright, even because those two players are so irrelevant. It's incredible, but if they're going to move the ball, they got to do it somehow. You know what I mean?
I mean, when it comes down to it, that Glennon is going to be throwing the ball. So like you said, it's got to go somewhere. But this is not a team you want to bank on this week, is what we're saying.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's take a look at the next game. Next game, we got Ravens-Bengals, division rivalry already. Over under 41. Cincinnati's favored by 3. Let's hear what you guys think.
This is kind of a game that I don't really have any players in. I haven't looked too much into this matchup, and I don't really like it either. I don't like the running back situation in Cincinnati. Yes, Joe Mixon has tons of talent, but you don't know. They're going to go the hot hand route. So whoever's playing well, you just can't trust that for fantasy purposes.
Yeah. What about you,
Blazer?
I'm actually quite high on AJ Green today. If you just look at his history throughout Baltimore, he torched them for 227 yards and 2 touchdowns last time. And
Really?
I mean, he's really just like the only competent receiver on this team if you really look at it. And AJ Green's just a guy that always goes over or under owned. So I'm really high on AJ Green today. I definitely recommend him in a GPP.
That's a good point.
As far as everyone else on the team, not too high on, but AJ Green definitely a tournament flyer for sure for me.
I like that a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, so do I. I feel like you'll leverage a lot of ownership with AJ Green too, because I feel like especially this week with Mike Evans being out as another top receiver, people are either going for the home run with Julio or AB, or they're spending down a little bit at wide receiver.
Right.
On someone like Doug Baldwin, who we will get to later.
It's quite a big drop off. You have Antonio Brown, Julio, and then an AJ Green, but then obviously you're not going to play Evans. I don't think anyone likes Ty. Dez is probably going to get locked in New York.
Like, I think it's a great play to leverage some ownership. I think it's a great point, Watch. What about Andy Dalton in a tournament? What do you guys think of that?
No, I don't
Okay,
like.
I just want to make.
I don't like it.
I'm gonna say
I
like, there's so many quarterback options and so many different price points that there's just no reason to play Andy Dalton.
Right, you can go
Yeah,
Carson
I-
Palmer for $100 cheaper in a much better matchup there, or Carson Wentz in a much better matchup.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. So Bengals obviously a running back situation to kind of stay away from.
Yeah, it's a wait and see approach. Wait and see.
Yeah, I mean AJ Green, great tournament flyer, but otherwise, I'm recommending staying away from this team. Bengals side of the ball, do you guys or not Bengals? Ravens side of the ball, you guys like anyone?
No.
No, just their offense has so many question marks. I'm just gonna stay away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have
agree.
absolutely no idea how to read this offense right now.
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, so their running backs got Terrence West, Danny Woodhead, and then wide receivers you got who? Jeremy Maclin.
I don't like Matt at all.
Neither do I.
Mike Wallace.
Mike Wallace. I mean, obviously Joe Flacco is not someone that you're gonna rely on. Like if we're not considering Andy Dalton, there's no way we're considering Joe Flacco at all. I just think this is another game that you kind of just stay away from.
Yeah, if anything, play defense. AJ Green, like Clutch said, great GPP play. Maybe throw in like a Bengals D. I don't know. I don't like this game at all.
Yeah, no, I don't either. So we don't like it. We can move on. Next game's a nice one. Over under 46.5. Spread at 9.5. Pittsburgh is favored over the Browns. What do you guys think?
Yeah, so a lot of people are on Le'Veon Bell. Personally, I'm going to stay away from Le'Veon Bell. Just the Steelers scare me. I'm actually not really going to have as much Steelers exposure as everyone else.
Okay.
So for me personally, I'm going to stay away from the Steelers side of the ball.
Is that because they're on the road?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't trust it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, my big issue with Le'Veon Bell, we know what he's capable of, and we know that he knows the playbook, so his holdout isn't really going to affect being up to speed with the playbook. But, I mean, you got to think his conditioning is not 100%. And if Mike Tomlin's going to ease him in to get him conditioned, what better team to do it than to do it against than the Browns? They don't need him.
Right.
So will they really give him a full workload is my concern. You're paying $9,300 for him. That's a lot to take a risk of a partial workload in my opinion.
He's going to score. That's not the issue.
Yeah. No, I give you that.
I like Le'Veon better. Or I mean LaShawn McCoy better.
I'm not telling anyone to not play
so
Le'Veon Bell. He's obviously a great play. But for me personally, I'm on LaShawn McCoy. I'm on David Johnson. There's guys that I'd rather have is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think about so I mean we can talk about Antonio Brown, but I mean you know what he's gonna do. Not a lot to talk about there. If you're not paying up at running back, you can pay up there, Julio Jones. But what do you guys think of Martavis Bryant?
Love Martavis, especially in tournaments.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I mean, there's 2 touchdown upside in my opinion with Martavis this week. $6,500 is also not going to break the bank for someone with his upside. I think he'll be a popular tournament play today for sure. But I absolutely – I'm not playing him cash, but I have him in one of my tournament lines. I love him.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben, you know how infatuated I am with Martavis Bryant. Those guys. I mean,
Yeah, this guy he's got a ton of talent, and people kind of forgot about that because of his, issues off the field and whatnot. But this guy is, when he's playing, he's one of the best receivers in the game, athleticism-wise. So,
yeah,
yeah.
Guys, I like Martavis Bryant a lot as a tournament flyer, and the main thing to look at here is the spread and the fact that the Steelers are going to score the football. And, picking on some of those weapons as tournament flyers is definitely a way to go because they are going to score the football. It's the Cleveland Browns. Yes, they have made some defense improvements, but, I mean, let's be real. It's the Cleveland Browns. The Steelers will score the football. So let's focus on getting some guys that, have that opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. So on the road, obviously Steelers aren't as enticing, but they have the potential. Are you guys looking at anyone on the Browns?
Crowell for GPP purposes. Other than that, that's probably it.
What about Corey Coleman?
I don't know. I mean,
I only ask because I know DeShone Kizer and his chemistry was unbelievable this preseason. He had like 8 first-half targets in the last preseason game. And Corey Coleman went on record like praising his relationship on and off the field with DeShone Kizer and talking about how bright their future will be and all this stuff. Obviously not a cash play, but I mean, I think he could be a flyer in a tournament.
What's his price on fan? Oh, here it is, $5,700. See, I'm looking at Kenny Britt is $6,000.
Oh,
Corey Coleman is $57,000. I think I like Britt a little bit better, just because there's the question marks with Coleman, in my opinion. I don't know. Yeah. I think I'm gonna stay away from that situation regardless, but.
Personally for me, I think I really like the run game here in Cleveland. I think Crowell and Duke Johnson are both tournament options here, especially if you think the Steelers are going to blow them out. They're going to get a ton of usage here. Crowell's a guy that's going to get his carries no matter what. That's just how their offense works. So I think going to the Cleveland run game is definitely an interesting option, and they'll be very, very, very underowned.
Oh, definitely. And when it comes to season too, I think Crowell's a great play.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think solid RB2 this week. Shout out to Terrence Green, big Browns fan of the Bucs front office. I like to hear that. Next game we got. Let's take a look here. So we got this might be the juiciest fantasy game of the day in my opinion. Cardinals Lions 48.5 over under. Arizona's favored by 2.5. I think this one's going to be a shootout. All right, kick it off.
Yeah, anytime. I mean, that's all Detroit does really is throw the ball. I've heard some people high on Amir Abdullah. I'm trying to look at the Arizona's defense rank here.
Okay.
I don't like Abdullah at all. And I don't – they said Patrick Peterson's going to be on Golden Tate. Did I read that correctly? You guys know?
Yes.
Okay. For that purpose, I don't like Golden Tate.
All right, but the thing is, are you guys benching Golden Tate in the season long?
No, you're not benching him, but – he definitely lost some of his value there, and I'm not playing him in DFS.
I agree. Okay. I'm gonna wait and see approach on the Lions side of the ball. I'm actually not touching anyone from that game.
Yeah, I don't think I am either.
Not the game, but the Lions side of the ball.
The Lions
GPPs or cash game. So
yeah, never mind. So looking at the Cardinals side of the ball, we'll address the elephant in the room. Obviously, you have David Johnson. Already touched on him a bit. What do you guys think of him this week?
I think he's a lock for cash. I remember last year it was like if you didn't start him in your cash lineup, you already are at a disadvantage. So I'm not gonna fall into that trap again. If I can get him and LaShawn McCoy or Todd Gurley, I'd be very happy.
I agree with Ben. I'm all in on David Johnson. Just lock him in and move on.
Yeah, I agree. There's nothing else you need to say about.
It's scary to fade him, honestly. It's too scary. So just lock him in.
Yeah, agreed. More interesting part of Arizona, the passing game. What do you guys think about the Arizona receivers?
Fitzgerald. That's probably it, in my opinion. I mean,
huge on Fitzgerald. He gets a really big mismatch with Quandre Diggs. He's an older guy, so he's going to play well in the first part of the season. He typically does that. I think Fitzgerald just has a huge game. You're going to get him he's going to have premium ownership. He'll be 30 to 50% owned in cash games, at least 20% owned in tournaments. But definitely just a lock in your cash game. Just lock him in.
Yeah,
I think Fitzgerald is.
I agree.
A really
he's
good.
Got that high floor. He's going to see over 10 targets.
He catches everything.
You have to worry about John Brown a lot too, and Fitzgerald is a guy that's going to go. He's going to get the targets. He's going to get the catches. He'll get the yards. So just go ahead and lock him.
Speaking of John Brown, I actually have John Brown in a tournament line. I know Darius Slay is probably going to be on him most of the night.
Mm-hmm.
But John Brown's a player to me where, if he burns Slay once, he's got that 70-yard touchdown ability.
Yeah.
If he's healthy too. So for 5,700, I really like John Brown. John Brown in a tournament. What do you guys think?
I could see it.
Yeah, he's a playmaker. He's the type of guy he'll get 2 catches, but 100 yards and a touchdown. So, I definitely could see it.
Yeah, I agree.
I like it.
And I also, speaking on the passing game, for his price point on FanDuel, I don't mind Carson Palmer in all formats.
I don't either. He's very affordable.
7,200 is nothing for a quarterback with his floor, which I think his floor today is like 17, 18, which is solid for that price range. But his ceiling could be like 30. I think he's in a great spot. I'm not personally playing, but I encourage you, I challenge you to give Carson Palmer a look.
Yeah, no, I
think he's in a great spot.
I actually had Palmer in my catch games like 2 days ago. But what I'll say about quarterbacks this week is don't get too wrapped up on it. I think the quarterbacks, there's a lot of options. I think they're all going to finish around the same, points. So don't get too wrapped up on your quarterback. Just play one that fits, and there's a lot of good options on every single price point. So just play one that fits, and it'll probably work out for you.
That's a good point.
Yep. So moving on to the next game. This one's a very low over-under. I don't think we're going to talk about it long at all. Jaguars Texans. 38.5 over/under. Houston's favored by 4.5. Kick it off, Jacob.
So Jaguars Texans. So although that I'm betting the Texans -5 is what I got it at. I think it's at -5.5 now. But I am really, really on to the Jaguars defense. I think that they've made so many improvements. They're $4,100 on FanDuel. That opens up a ton of value for your lineup. Jaguars defense is a play that might get overlooked just because there's, you got your Bills, you got your Rams. There's teams in really good matchups. But, this low over-under, the Texans offense question mark, it really points me to the Jaguars defense. Just for 4,100, I can open up my lineup and, fit in that Larry Fitzgerald, fit in that Doug Baldwin, and not have to really punt wide receivers when I pay up for those guys like David Johnson and Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, I agree. I know you're big on Jaguars defense, Ben.
Very big on the Jags D. For $4,100, I'm locking them in.
You have two top 10 corners and Jalen Ramsey and
two lockdown quarterbacks. Jalen Ramsey and AJ Bouye those two are studs. And AJ Bouye was traded from, or maybe he was signed from the Texans. Obviously, that's what they're playing. He's gonna have a chip on his shoulder. The Texans don't really have a huge offensive threat. Hopkins will probably be doubled.
Yeah, Will Fuller. And then we look at so Jaguars D is in play. Are you guys really even looking at anybody else in this game? Texans D maybe?
Texans D, yeah. As far as players go, weapons, no thanks. I'll stay away just because I'm inclined to believe that the under is going to hit here. I think that the Jaguars have a pretty good chance to win this game. Although I think the Texans bet is really safe, and I personally have it myself. I think the under is a really safe avenue to go. So, I'm more inclined to think the defenses are the way to go here.
I agree.
Yeah, 100%. So we're on board here. Fade this game less to defense. Next game is a nice one too. Raiders Titans 50.5 over under. Tennessee is the 2.5-point favorite. I love the Titans this week. Love them. Passing game specifically.
Yeah, this is the probably the most juiciest matchup. Both defenses are very below average. Both offenses are pretty good, actually really good. Have a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
There's a lot of players in this game who I could justify playing. I'll start with a few of my favorites. From the Tennessee side, I think Mariota is going to be a pretty popular cash play. I think you can pair him up with Rashard Matthews or Eric Decker. I'm going to wait and see on Corey Davis. Delaney Walker is going to have some ownership in cash games. So I could see Mariota Matthews, Mariota Decker as a nice little duo there. What do you guys think?
I like Decker. I think Decker's kind of going underlooked or overlooked, I should say, because of the addition of Corey Davis, Rashard Matthews' kind of emergence last year. But people forget how reliable Eric Decker's been the last 2-3 years in fantasy. I mean, the man was a lock for 6 catches on 8 targets and almost a touchdown like every game.
Yep. And Oakland, if he's playing in the slot, I read something that said the Oakland cornerback, I forget his name, but is terrible against slot receivers. So if they play the 3 wide receiver stats with Corey Davis and Rashard Matthews on the outside, Decker's going to get those slot receptions, which is good for 10 or 15 yards every single time. So I don't know.
I mean, as far as my opinion on the Titans side of the ball, obviously this is the game that everyone wants to hear us talk about. Like, this is the game that every single site's talking about. I guess it has the second highest over under. I thought it had the highest prior to the live show. But I'm all in on the Titans offense, guys. Like, I've got Mariota locked into my cash games. His floor is just tremendous in this matchup. Delaney Walker, for me, is just the safest tight end play. I like him quite a bit more than Ertz. I think a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that. But the way that the Raiders play defense is they use their linebackers as pass rushers. So that's just going to open up the middle a lot for Delaney Walker. And I think that Mariota just finds him quite a bit for quite a lot of targets.
Yeah.
And one of the guys that a lot of people aren't going to really talk about just because they're so into the pass game is DeMarco Murray.
Yep, I was going to mention him too.
This is a high over-under game. Like, DeMarco Murray is going to get some yards. He's going to get some usage. So having DeMarco Murray as like a tournament option where he's going to go extremely under-owned is I'm all in on that. So really, really like the Titans offense in this matchup.
Okay. So as you can see, we're all pretty high on Tennessee's offense. What about Oakland's offense? Personally, I love the receivers for Oakland. Tennessee's got a good pass front seven, but their secondary leaves something to be desired. One of my favorite cash wide receivers this week, and I think he can push for wide receiver 1 numbers in season 1 is Michael Crabtree.
Yeah.
The red zone targets are insane. His price is reasonable. Doesn't have the big playability anymore that Cooper does because of his Achilles injury in the past. But I love Crabtree. What do you guys think about him?
Yeah, the Titans are the 30th ranked defense against the pass. That's what they were last year. And second against the rush, which is kind of crazy. They go from 30th to second. Anyways.
But, yeah, just for me, my game theory for DFS is that if I'm going to play a quarterback and a passing weapon from one side of the offense, I'm going to like the other side of the offense just because they'll be forced to be on offense a lot because the other team will be scoring the ball a bit. So I'm all in on Michael Crabtree. He's a red zone target machine. As far as Amari Cooper, that guy's just a playmaker. So playing him, you can't go wrong with. Like, I personally wanted him in my cash game lineups, but fitting him and Doug Baldwin was just really tough for me. So I had to make some sacrifices. But Crabtree and cash, all day. I like it.
Yep.
Here's a question. I'm stuck with. I shouldn't say stuck with starting him in one league because I don't mind him. But what do you guys think about Marshawn Lynch?
So part of me wants to play the wait and see approach. And part of me just wants to play him because this is a high over-under game. Like, this guy's going to get some usage. I mean, like Ben said, the Titans are good against the rush, but Marshawn Lynch is a guy that he has the upside. So playing him in a tournament, it really strikes me quite a bit. I think he's going to go underowned. Like we've kind of talked about, there's a lot of running backs that are very obvious chalk this week. So I'm kind of been more inclined to it this morning is what I've been.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind him.
Good running back on a great offense in a high over-under game. I mean,
and you got to think the goal line carries will be there.
Right.
Yeah, and they're going to be in the red zone, so I don't mind it. Next game, moving on, we got Philadelphia Eagles at the Washington Redskins, 48.5 over-under. Philly's favored by 1. We'll start with the Redskins. And, Ben, I will give you one guess as to who I'm going to talk about right now.
Does his name start with Rob?
Yeah, Cabrelli. That's what I'm talking about. Rob Kelly. Criminal ownership play of the day. Criminal ownership play of the day to me is Rob Kelly. Fat Rob. I'm infatuated with him this year. Overspent on him in our auction drafts.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely love Rob Kelly this week. Philadelphia's front seven is very weak. High-octane offense. I mean, there's a lot of mouths to feed in the Redskins offense, but there's a high over-under. And Samaje Perine, did I get his name right?
Yes, Perine, not Perine.
Perine.
He called him Perine last night. He yelled at him.
I think eventually he could overtake Kelly, but I think that's going to happen later. He's a rookie, and he did not look that great in preseason. Rob Kelly was top 10 in elusive ratings and yards after contact last year. He's a bruiser. He's not going to shake anyone out of their shoes, but he's not an easy tackle. I see a Rob Kelly being very similar to a performance like Mike Gillislee this week. I'm not going to say he's going to get a hat trick with the touchdowns, but I can see 70 yards, 2 touchdowns, honestly.
Interesting.
Yep, that's my bold criminal ownership play of the day. I'm done with the Redskins. Take it away, guys.
So what's odd is actually I have the over in this game. I think that it hits. I think there's a lot of scoring, but as a lot of you guys know, I'm a Redskins fan, so it's kind of hard for me to play them in DFS, but I like the Rob Kelly play. I personally won't have much exposure. I see a lot of people on Terrell Pryor. That's kind of I'm a risk adverse type of person, so I'm gonna play the wait and see approach on Terrell Pryor. Jordan Reed's price is kind of through the roof, so
yeah,
out of the option.
His price is
I'm not paying
expensive.
So I mean, obviously you're not going to bench Jordan Reed.
Stay away from the Redskins this week. I can't really recommend anybody, honestly.
If you had,
you're not going to bench.
Would you play Crowder or Pryor?
Crowder.
That's tough, man. I mean, in cash games, I say Pryor. In GPPs, I'll go Crowder.
I just think the catches will be there for Crowder. I mean, he's a catch vacuum. Like, he's a pass vacuum. I'm with Jacob on this. Like, this is an offense where there's so many mouths to feed, and they all haven't been together for that long. Like, you just got to wait and see. I'm not paying $7,100 for tight end on FanDuel, but you're also not going to sit him on. I mean, these players, when we're saying stay away and like wait and see, a lot of that, like when it comes to Terrell Pryor, Jordan Reed, that's in DFS. I do not recommend benching these guys in your season ball.
Right.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
But yeah. So what about the Philly side of the ball?
The Phillies.
The Philly side of the ball.
Oh, I said Phillies. Anyways, let's see. Who do the Eagles have these days? Running back, LeGarrette Blount, Darren Sproles, I'm staying away from 100%. Receiver-wise, why can't I think of their wide receiver one? Who is it?
Eagles.
They got Aguilar, Torrey Smith, and who is the one?
Is it?
I totally forgot.
I'm blanking now.
Me too.
I mean, can you say Zach Ertz?
I love Zach Ertz, but I want to figure out what the receiver.
Okay. It's Alshon Jeffrey.
Bottom line.
It's Alshon.
Yeah.
I know it was someone good.
Yeah.
Alshon's gonna get Josh Norman, but is Josh Norman really the Josh Norman everyone thinks? I don't think so.
Yes, he is.
You think so?
I mean,
forgot you're a Redskins fan.
Not a guy that I'm looking.
I forgot about that.
Alshon Jeffrey's another guy. Like we're gonna want to wait and see how he blends into this offense. He doesn't have the dream matchup. I mean, Yeah, maybe Josh Norman might be a little bit overrated, but he's still Josh Norman. Let's be real. So, I mean, personally for me, I'll stay away. I think what everyone really wants to hear us talk about is Zach Ertz, and he's kind of a monster against the Redskins. He really eats us up. I think he's a safe play for cash. Tight ends seem to be a little bit dwindled this week, so Ertz is definitely an option to go. Like I said, I like Delaney Walker quite a bit, but Ertz is definitely a good pivot for cash or GPP.
Yeah, I think Ertz and Delaney Walker are going to see a lot of ownership, and then otherwise it's just going to be – those are going to be the two main cash tight ends.
So we got a question in the chat. Is Alshon Jeffrey really the Alshon Jeffrey? I don't know, maybe before his injury. It's a good question.
I mean, we don't know.
That's the only exactly. Which is why, I mean, in season long, he says I have him in both my season long teams. You're not going to bench him. We don't advise benching him.
Yeah, don't bench.
But temper your expectations. Like, the potential is definitely there. But the combination of returning from an injury plague 2016, you got Josh Norman covering you today. I mean, the thing is, a player like Alshon with his big playability, he only needs 2 snaps where Alshon is not being covered by Josh Norman to get his fantasy points. But you really want to bank on that? I don't think so.
Yeah, I tend to agree. But him and Carson Wentz showed some connection in the preseason. They looked good together, but I agree. Temper your expectations. I think he has a good year, but I'm not quite confident quite yet. That's where I'm at.
As far as DFS goes, stay away from Alshon today. But for me, I'm pretty high on Wentz this year. I think he gets it done in quite a few categories.
Definitely.
So I think Alshon is definitely a good season-long pickup. I'm not mad about that at all.
Yeah, I would stay away from him in DFS today.
All right, next game we got Colts at the Rams, 41.5 over under, which I think is high. Rams favored by 3.5. Before we start, my buddy texted me a question about the Colts. He asked if he should go Frank Gore or Theo Riddick for the Lions. What do you guys think?
Oof.
I like Theo Riddick a lot. That's a guy I really didn't mention when we went over that game, but I think Theo Riddick fits in quite a bit into this game. I think he does, so I'd play him personally.
I would tend to agree with that. Frank Gore is just he's Frank Gore. You're going to probably get like 9 points out of him, and that's probably going to be it. Very limited upside. Pretty sure the Rams have a pretty good front seven here. I'm going to look.
Yeah, they do. I mean, speaking on this game, personally, the Rams are my favorite defense this week.
Yeah, against Tolzien. I could see it for sure.
Tolzien, I'm sure you guys saw this stat. It's been all over. In 9 career starts in the NFL, Tolzien has 2 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. That's a terrible ratio.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. This game, Colts side of the ball, stay away.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. Some people are justifying T.Y. Hilton. I hate T.Y. Hilton this week for his price.
Yeah, no, T.Y. Hilton, just stay away from him. Like, without luck, he's very scary. I paid up for him in my auction draft, which I kind of regret. But, yeah, there's so many question marks on the Colts offense side of the ball that the Rams defense just makes a lot of sense. Like, they're going to do well. They're going to hold them to a few points. Like, the Rams defense is the play on that in this game, honestly.
Yeah. Yep. So Jacob, what do you think? What would you project like cash ownership for Rams?
I think Rams are going to be pretty high, honestly. I think a lot of people are going to see that the Colts are struggling offensively, and they're going to just tend to go to the Rams. So, I think they're going to be pretty high. I would say I'm going to stick with like 18 to 20%.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Other play in this game that I love is Todd Gurley. What do you guys think?
Yep. I was just going to mention him. $7,300 against one of the worst defenses in the league. I love him for cash games. He's a lock for 20 carries. He'll score a touchdown. Probably won't see as much ownership as other running backs for obvious reasons, but I still think he's a pretty safe play this week against the Colts.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm pretty all in on Gurley, guys. Like I mean, obviously David Johnson's my favorite. He's going to be my go-to. He's the GOAT. But as far as my second favorite running back, I would have to go Todd Gurley. Like this is just
I also think
a pretty matchup.
you're getting him for
I
nothing.
want to say you're going to get him on your own. I want to say you're going to get him on your own just because there's guys like Bell, there's guys like McCoy. So Gurley's going to go under the radar a little bit, and I'm all in, guys. I'm ready. I'm ready.
I agree. But
Yeah.
0 receiving game. You like any of the receivers on LA? Probably not.
No.
But
That's it for me. A lot like Clutch said about the Redskins. I mean, I've never really trusted Sammy Watkins to begin with, but this is a definite wait and see approach with someone like Jared Goff throwing you the ball.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This game, like, do you guys really like anyone besides Gurley in the defense?
No, I'm all in on Gurley. I love the defense. And guys, like I said, I'm pretty risk adverse. So as far as this week, I want to be pretty chalky, but you want to give yourself some leverage and some advantage on type of plays like this. So Gurley is a way that I'm going to be able to differentiate my lineup from others. So I'm all in on Gurley. I love the idea. It's a little bit of a discount from McCoy. It's a little bit of a lot of discount from Bell and David Johnson. So it allows me to pay up and get guys like Doug Baldwin and Larry Fitz. So I'm ready to roll with Gurley.
Yeah, agreed.
I would agree too.
Yeah. So next game we got Panthers at 49ers. 5-point spread in favor of Carolina. Over under is 47. What do you guys think about this game?
For me personally, let's start with the 49ers side of the ball, just because this is my like go-to call. Like this is my criminal ownership play of the day. We're gonna give you guys Pierre Garçon, and I am all in on Pierre Garçon, guys. Like this is a Kyle Shanahan offense. This is explosive. This man's gonna get targets. He got paid. They don't have a lot of weapons. Like I'm in love with Pierre Garçon, and I think he's viable in all formats. You will get him under-owned. Carolina defense still obviously scares people. I'm so thrilled to say that. Like I'm so in on Garçon, guys. Like
yeah, I have Garçon this season long, and I thank Ben for getting me on him. I love Pierre Garçon this season.
Yeah, Carolina Panthers are 30th or 29th ranked defense against the pass, but like Clutch said, some people think they're still like an elite defense, but their secondary is not good at all. And the only way they're going to move the ball is Carlos Hyde and Garçon. I'm all in on Garçon as well. For $6,600.
It's such a good play, guys. And, since I'm so in on Garçon, it just makes sense that I'm in on Brian Hoyer. So GPPs, yes, I am pairing those two, and I can't wait, guys. I really can't. I think this is going to be a lineup that really goes off. I just love Garçon. I don't know if I have the balls to play him in cash games today, just because he's going to be so low owned. And like I said, I'm pretty risk adverse, but I'm definitely recommending to play him in all formats. And Hoyer is a great GPP play.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's sitting at 6,100 on FanDuel. That's a free quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and bold call of the day, guys, all coming from this game. So Garçon's going to go off first of all. Hoyer throws 3 touchdowns, and 49ers win this game.
Interesting.
That's where I'm at. Like I really think Panthers just have so many question marks with Cam and his injury proneness that I think that the 49ers come out here and they shock the world. They win this game.
So if you had a pick'em or a survivor pool, would you have the confidence to pick San Francisco? Like,
No.
Are you that confident?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not. But will I take 49ers spread? Will I take their money line? Yeah, I think there's good value there, guys. I do not recommend betting this Panthers spread. I think a lot of people do. I stay away from that, man. I think Cam Newton comes out here and
I agree. And speaking on that, so obviously you're not too high on the Panthers side of the ball. I in tournaments like Cam Newton. A lot of question marks, which kind of is why I like him, because the potential is there, but so is the downside. So I think his ownership can be pretty low. I'm pairing him with Greg Olsen right now because I don't think people pay off the tight end. But who do you guys like on the Carolina side of the ball, if anyone?
Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah, you're a big Benjamin truther. I'm not, but you are. Why?
Well, if we're going to look at his past games against the 49ers, last year he pretty much tore him apart with 108 yards and 2 touchdowns. Him and Cam from what I heard, have looked better connection-wise. Cam has a lot more confidence in Kelvin.
Mm-hmm.
He's really the only offensive threat on that team.
Greg Olsen.
So For me, I know I said 49ers are going to win this game, all that. But I'm still very high on the Panthers side of the ball.
Okay.
Kelvin Benjamin,
So
guy that I could recommend in all formats. Like this guy has almost 80 pounds and 5 inches. Like he's
right,
almost a half foot taller than his matchup. Like his matchup is just tremendous. Like, and he is so cheap on FanDuel that like he's going to get targets, he's going to get the ball, and I think he scores the ball today. So yeah, I like 100-yard stat line for him today. So Benjamin, I'm all in on. Cam Newton, a lot of question marks. Will he be running the ball? Will he not? I'll just stay away. But yes, Kelvin Benjamin is the guy that I could play in all formats.
okay.
Yeah, I'm all in on Kelvin, 100%.
Okay, so what about Christian McCaffrey? I know everyone wants to hear about Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
He's one of those question marks too. I mean, he's got a great matchup, the worst run defense in the league, but I mean, I don't know. Like I kind of roll with clutch in the fact that I'm risk averse, and being a rookie running back, I don't know. I have a hard time playing him in cash.
Yeah, I can't recommend him in cash, but as far as GPP goes, like this guy's going to be involved in the pass game quite a bit. He's got a great matchup. I say roll with him in GPPs, but as like Ben said and I said like earlier, I'm risk adverse, and sometimes that bites me in the butt. Obviously, like Kareem Hunt going off Thursday, like I would have never called that. So, am I going to play a rookie week 1? Maybe. Am I going to do it in cash? No, probably not.
Okay.
Yep. I think that's spot on.
Okay.
Some people are like Jonathan Stewart.
So what do you guys think Jonathan Stewart's involvement will be?
I think he scores a touchdown, but gets 25 rushing yards.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that call. I mean,
I don't
I'm not
know.
interested in, but he could score. Yeah, he won't be involved as much as you think. I think they're going to really, really push McCaffrey to be involved. Like he's going to be in the game. So that's why I'm recommending him in GPPs. Like this 49ers defense is very suspect. They will get torched. They definitely will get scored on. So, McCaffrey's a way to go. It's a pivot from Benjamin, who I think will be very chalky. Olsen will probably garner some ownership. So, yeah, McCaffrey's cool to me. I like it.
Okay, good. So next game we got Packers hosting the Seahawks. Green Bay's favored by 3 at home, and this over-under is the highest on the slate at 51.
I wonder if there's
we'll kick it off in Seattle. And my assumption, based on everything I've read and researched this week, is that the Seahawks will be absolute chalk this week.
Yep.
Doug Baldwin has 21 touchdowns in his last 26 games. People said Russell Wilson is going to bounce back this season. He showed flashes of it last season. Jimmy Graham is popular. What do you guys think?
Doug Baldwin's one of my favorite receivers in the slate for cash purposes.
He's definitely my favorite receiver on this.
He's not a sexy receiver, so people don't really they don't really think about him as highly as other receivers, but he's damn near just as good. That guy is very talented. He always tears up the Packers. The only receiving threat behind Jimmy Graham on that team, Packers secondary is pretty bad. I think it's a no-brainer for cash.
I'm with you, Ben. I mean, I did everything I could to fit Doug Baldwin into my lineup. Like this guy, what my hope is that people see the Packers and they get scared just because of the name, like it's the Packers. But in reality, their pass defense is very, very suspect. So picking on them is the way to go. And Doug Baldwin's just an option that, like, they don't have a lot of weapons right now. They just don't. So I think that Doug Baldwin is a lock for cash. I think you got to get him into your lineups. You just have to.
Yeah, I agree. We talked about Delaney Walker and Zach Ertz. I think Jimmy Graham's a great cash play at tight end as well.
I agree.
I agree.
Great. He actually in our fantasy forecast ranking, he's my number 2 tight end. Gronk was my number 1, so that's obviously a disappointment. But he's my number 2 tight end this week. So my number 1 for Sunday. I think he's gonna have a great game.
Yeah, and I would stay away from the running back situation in Seattle for sure. The way
what about our boy getting his revenge game though?
Lacy? No, I don't like Lacy at all.
I definitely see
I get the narrative and everything, but
for the narrative, I just have to say I gotta recommend him in GPPs, like big tournaments. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
obviously
I
not
agree. I mean, I feel like
cash, but
he's got the ultimate chip on his shoulder.
exactly. I like it. I
But
think
he also has like 250 pounds on his shoulder.
Valid. Valid.
I mean, the guy's overweight. I think the Seahawks have the worst offensive line in football. And
Worse than the Colts?
I mean, they're pretty much the same. That's a terrible offensive line. It's gonna be a shootout.
Okay. Yeah,
for sure.
I also honestly
The narrative makes sense.
GPPs. I don't mind Paul Richardson in GPPs.
I was gonna,
Departure Jermaine Kearse.
I think Paul Richardson scores a touchdown in this game.
You?
Yeah.
Okay. So Seattle, chalky, great place. What about Green Bay? I think Green Bay. Clutch. You talked about how you think Seattle will be. You hope they'll go overlooked because of the namesake for Green Bay. I think the same thing could happen with the Packers against the Seahawks, because obviously the Seahawks defense is great, so people might just automatically think.
Yeah.
For that reason, I personally plugged in A-Rod and Jordy in a tournament line.
Same.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, A-Rod and Jordy, those are two guys I could honestly say you could play in cash. I mean, it's kind of like a Matt Ryan, Julio type deal where it's hard to afford, but this is a very safe floor, guys. This is Jordy Nelson and Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know, man. I like it. I like it quite a bit. So yeah.
At Lambeau Field, the Packers are. I mean, you can justify playing them in cash for that reason. They're one of the best home teams in football. I like Rodgers and Nelson a lot. A lot.
Yeah. I mean, you're also getting on. So obviously, season long, you're not benching these guys, but daily formats, you're getting Jordy Nelson on FanDuel for $7,700.
Yep.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I like Devontae a little bit too.
Yeah. One player I'm staying away from on Green Bay is definitely Ty Montgomery. We've gotten a lot of questions about him regarding season long. I just don't like him. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, just, the risk adverseness of myself is just saying, like, this guy, he tends to go a lot of different avenues in the offense. So it's very scary to me. And it's a guy I'm looking to stay away from, honestly, in season long and DFS. It's just a guy I wasn't high on. I did not draft him at all. I don't really see myself playing him in DFS all year long.
Yeah, I don't either.
Unless something changes. I mean, we'll see. But as for now, definitely stay away from him.
Okay. Got a question from Ed Gordon. He's asking if there's any Randall Cobb love. I personally, in a tournament, wouldn't mind him for that salary just because he's not going to be covered by anyone significant on Seattle. But it's tough after last year. I don't know. I'm definitely a little uncomfortable playing him.
Yeah, I think he's in the middle of his decline mode in his career, unfortunately, even though he got that huge contract. After what I saw of him last year, I have a very hard time playing him in anything until I see something out of him.
Agreed.
Exactly. I want to say that this guy's going to have a bounce back year, but
I hope he does. I really hope he does.
I really hope he does too, but playing him today just doesn't sound like a good idea. I think there's so many different options to go for in GPP, and Randall Cobb's just not really on my radar at all.
Yeah, agreed. This is my favorite game for fantasy purposes overall. I think we covered just about everyone. The final Sunday game, we got the Giants.
Hold up. I want to mention in that game for GPP, okay. I kind of like Martellus Bennett a little bit. Playing against his brother, I think he scores a touchdown. Yeah, I mean I don't think Cobb scores. I don't think Montgomery scores. I think Jordy scores. So I mean, someone's going to score on that team, and I think Martellus Bennett is one of them.
I'm okay. As far as season goes, I really like Martellus Bennett, but I don't know if Seahawks defense is the right way to go for him. But I see your point. I think he has a great year. I think Rodgers and him will connect a lot. So I mean, it could start today. So I like that.
Yeah, I think he's just really a red zone threat.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now, what Johnny said. Let's talk about the game that matters.
We just did.
No, yeah, Johnny, fuck you. We just did. Now we get to the most irrelevant game of the day.
Irrelevant.
Everyone's least favorite team. Just kidding. We got Cowboys hosting the Giants. 47.5 over under. Dallas favored by 4. There's a lot of attention going to be on this game for a couple of reasons. Odell is questionable. I personally think he's on the wrong side of questionable. And Zeke is going to be running angry. What do you guys think?
I would agree.
Yeah, I mean, this game is definitely interesting, but for me, this is I'll make a statement as well. This is my betting game of the day. Take the Giants +4. I think even if they do lose this game, it's by a field goal, if that. I really like the Giants this year, and I think they kick it off with a win today. So, getting them at +4 seems like such value to me. Take it there. As far as DFS goes, guys, I can't recommend it. I see a lot of people on Evan Ingram as like a tight end value play. It's just not for me, guys. I don't see it. I think the avenues to go for this game are betting the Giants and even taking the under. But like you said, Zeke's going to be running with authority. So, if you want to take a tournament risk, go for it. But I'll stay away.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you on the bet. For sure. The Giants went 2-0 against the Cowboys last year. Their defense is so underrated.
Yeah, very underrated.
Guys, I just got to update. Odell Beckham will go through pregame workout, unlikely to play. So it's not like Odell's going to be playing.
Well, yeah, my buddy just texted me. He said he's playing Diggs and Jordan Reed. He's sitting Odell.
All right, so since that just broke, we need to talk about Marshall or Shepard. Who do you like better?
I'm going to go with option C, Evan Ingram.
I didn't give you an option C. I gave
myself an option C. Evan Ingram is
Brandon Marshall or Sterling Shepard, because you're gonna if you're gonna
Sterling Shepard.
All right, I'd agree with that.
Just because of the coverage that Brandon Marshall's gonna get now.
I have Sterling Shepard on my bench in season long. Do I start him? He'd be my flex option.
Who do you have in your flex right now?
Well, Terrence West.
Yeah,
Terrence West or Sterling Shepard?
I say Sterling.
100% Shepard.
Interesting. Or Derrick Henry.
Sterling Shepard for me.
Sterling Shepard.
Cool.
I'm Shepard.
Cool.
So this game isn't that enticing. Now it's a little more enticing. So I know they're not on the main slate, but for season-long purpose, I think we should get to the Monday games too. Saints Vikings. I mean, there's a huge narrative in this game in AP returning to Minnesota, but with the Vikings front seven, I just don't see him being effective. I don't know if you guys feel any differently.
Yeah, I don't like. I mean, are we talking season long or DFS?
Both, but I mean, for the purpose of this stream, season long.
Season long, I mean, I guess he has some flex appeal, I would say. Maybe RB3 flex. I don't like any running backs in this matchup. Michael Thomas is an obvious play. Ted Ginn, I like Ted Ginn in this game a lot. I think he's a great GPP play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you guys think on that side of the ball?
I love Ted Ginn. I think Drew Brees is the perfect quarterback for someone like Ted Ginn.
Yeah. He is.
What about you, Klaus?
Yeah, I mean, as far as this game goes, for DFS purposes, I'm not really on anybody, but I'll say that for season long, obviously you're going to start like Drew Brees. You're gonna start the obvious plays, but betting purposes, I'll take the under on this game. I think there's a lot of question marks. I think it's going to be one of those games where these teams are playing in the primetime slot, and I think it's just going to be a low-scoring game. Again, I thought this for the Patriots-Chiefs. I took the under there. Obviously, that was a big, big mistake. But yeah, I just don't see a lot of scoring going on in this game. New Orleans is always going to be a defense that you're going to pick on. So any of the wide receivers from the Vikings, you're going to start in season long. If you're playing that Sunday to Monday night slate, yeah, you're going to want some receivers there. But other than that, Saints side of the ball, I'll stay away. But
Yeah,
you
I'm
know,
with you.
we're going to start the obvious in season
Yeah.
one. So.
Okay. So second game of the Monday night slate or night, Chargers at LA Chargers at Denver Broncos. LA Chargers, it's weird. At Denver Broncos, 43 over under. Denver favored by 3. I don't bet on spreads, but if I did, I would hammer Chargers plus 3.
Yes.
Hammer Chargers plus 3. That is a free cheese alert. Trevor Siemian sucks.
Yeah, we don't know what Jamal Charles and C.J. Anderson are going to be up to. I agree with that. San Diego or L.A. The L.A. Rams just does not sound correct.
Well, we're talking about the LA Chargers, so I don't know.
You know what I mean. L.A. Rams, L.A. Chargers, same thing.
Yeah.
Why do they have to do
honestly, I'm all over the Chargers in this game, especially the absence of TJ Ward. If you're playing the Sunday Monday slate and you really, really, really want to leverage ownership and have a late hammer, I don't mind Phillip Rivers. I don't. That secondary loses a lot with TJ Ward. They lose a safety blanket. I know Ben and I were talking about this, and he didn't necessarily agree. But TJ Ward was their safety blanket behind Aqib Talib and
Chris Harris.
Who's that? Chris Harris?
Chris Harris and Talib are very good.
I know they're very good, but I'm talking about ownership leverage in a tournament. I don't mind Phillip Rivers, and I mean,
you're gonna pair.
I wouldn't. I honestly pair with Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, I definitely like Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
If I'm playing a receiver in that game, it probably would be Tyrell Williams, but
no Keenan Allen.
No, I don't. I'm not too high on Keenan Allen until I see something out of him.
Okay. What about you, Clutch?
I'm kind of with Ben. Keenan Allen's the wait and see approach. Obviously, he didn't, perform as well as he was supposed to last year. So I'll wait and see on that. But I am all in with Joe. I think that you hammer this bet. The +3 is just free money. Let's be real. Like, this Broncos offense has a lot of question marks, and Phillip Rivers is a great DFS play because people are going to see Broncos. They're not going to want to, force that. It's the Broncos defense. People don't want to play that. But yeah, I think you get them super low owned, even in these smaller slates, and I think the Chargers win this game.
Yeah, I agree. I'm actually very stunned with this spread because the Chargers. I feel like the Chargers defense isn't a pushover either. But I don't like. I'm not. I saw Devin Booker's out, so that maybe bumps CJ Anderson a bit. But there's no one on this side of the ball that I really love. If Brock Osweiler for some reason takes over in this game, I love Emmanuel Sanders because Brock's infatuation with him. I'm starting Emmanuel Sanders this week in season one because I have to.
Same.
But the Broncos just don't entice me, honestly.
I agree.
Yeah. So that wraps up the game breakdown. Let me check if we have any questions quick. Yeah, Travis Lander, hi guy, asks us, how do we feel about Dez Bryant?
I hate Dez Bryant.
He's going to be locked up. This is not a good matchup for him. Yes, Dak loves him, but as far as DFS purposes go, no. Season long, yes, you're going to start him. DFS, there's better options.
Yeah, I agree. Especially for that price point. I mean, I'd rather have Doug Baldwin for cheaper. I'd rather have Larry Fitzgerald for like $2,000 cheaper, honestly. Yeah, that's a situation. I mean, you're not going to bench him in season long, but I don't like him. I don't like him. Let me double check if we have any other questions. Here we go.
This FanDuel's kind of messing up. I see that the 1 p.m. only has pretty much filled all of its tournaments, and it is 47 minutes to lock. So
seriously,
hopefully they're going to go ahead and open up some more, but it looks like they underestimated. So
the Millie Maker is still open, but yeah, that's nuts. I entered mine last night.
1 p.m. only.
All right, we got a question from Ed. He says, what quarterback are we most comfortable with on DraftKings for the $100 single entry?
I don't play DraftKings.
For me, I think you're going to get Carson Wentz pretty cheap there. And I talked about how I like the over there. I think he's a good option there. I think he's cheap enough to where you can play him. You can fit guys like David Johnson, Julio Jones if you need to. Like a safer guy, Mariota is my go-to this week.
Okay. DraftKings, I don't really play it a lot, but from what I'm seeing, Carson Wentz is looking nice for his price point. Allows you to get one of those big running backs, like I know Bryce was talking about that in his article. Mariota also, I love Mariota because we didn't even talk about the potential he has to run. So there's a lot of potential in Mariota. So Ed, I think we're going Mariota and Carson Wentz for you. That looks like it was the last question. Is there anything else you guys want to cover?
Yeah, I want to bring up one comparison that I'm trying to waver over right now as I finish up my cash lineup. So assuming you start David Johnson at running back in FanDuel,
okay,
you go Gurley or McCoy as the second running back.
I love both. I think it just depends what receivers you're comfortable with.
Well, I mean, they're not
taking a bigger hit at receiver if you go McCoy.
True.
Like if you want Doug Baldwin, go Gurley.
But do you think Gurley has a similar day as McCoy?
Yes, I do. I think McCoy is safer though, just because he's guaranteed more touches. So I think
McCoy honestly is a lock for 30 touches.
You say Gurley's a lock for 30 touches?
McCoy,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Agreed.
But Gurley, I think he's a lock for 25. So volume's there for both of them. I'll go Gurley, honestly. A little like Jacob said earlier, a little bit more ownership leverage too. I'm not playing David Johnson or Le'Veon Bell in cash, so pray for me. But
I will.
I'm going McCoy.
Like, I had McCoy all week, and I really just switched on to Gurley this morning just because I realized I wanted to differentiate my lineup somehow, and that was the way I was going to do it. I was going to pay down for Gurley and go ahead and pay up for Baldwin, which I don't think a lot of people are going to do. There's so many options in that 6K to 7K range that people are going to go to. There's at least like 5 or 6. There, you got Crabtree, you got Fitzgerald, you have Benjamin, you have Terrell Pryor. There's just a lot of options there. So paying up for Baldwin allows you to get that, advantage.
Yeah,
agreed. I'm actually my cash lineup. I'm pairing Russell Wilson and Baldwin, which I don't think a lot of people will be doing.
No, I don't think so either. But I like.
Who do you guys think will be the chalkiest quarterback?
What was that?
Chalkiest quarterback.
That's tough, dude. I mean, plenty of people are gonna be on Mariota. People will be on Russell Wilson. People will be on Derek Carr probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mariota is going to be the highest owned. I think Newton is actually going to be pretty high owned, which I'm excited about because like I said, I think he implodes. That's my call of the day, and I think he's going to be pretty high owned. People thinking that he still runs like he used to, but he just doesn't. So
I really hope Cam Newton's high owned in cash for that reason. Honestly,
I just don't like him. Fuck that guy.
Here's one. Hold on. Here's a question for you. Garcon or Michael Crabtree in cash on FanDuel?
Crabtree.
That's so tough for me because
that's tough though.
For me, I mean,
I play both.
So I actually had Garcon in my cash game lineups, and then I realized he's 6,600. I realized I had the extra 300, so I was like, this is a cash lineup. Let me just go ahead and pay for Crabtree. Like, he seems safe. So in cash, I gotta go Crabtree. But personally, I like Garcon more. But just
I think Garcon's a lock for 10 targets at least.
I think so too.
I think he really came out with your Redskins at the end of last year, if I'm not mistaken.
And you got to realize he's back with Kyle Shanahan. Like, this guy is going to get targets. He got paid a lot of money to be in San Francisco. Yep. Like, they're good.
Yeah, his best year is he had a career year with Shanahan. I think he led the league in like yards or receptions that year with Shanahan.
One of the two. Crazy amount of targets that year too.
Yeah.
I don't have the exact number, but I know it was a lot.
Yeah.
So I expect the ball to go his way a lot today.
Okay. One more thing I want to cover just for the people watching and who's gonna watch this. I know a lot of people do survivors. Who are your survivor picks this week? Personally, I'm going Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, Bills are safe. I mean, that's a really good avenue to go. I can't really disagree with that.
There's a lot of tough matchups. I mean, you could obviously argue Steelers, but you look at like Ravens, Bengals, that game could go either way. Cardinals, Lions, that game can go either way. Jaguars, Texans, like there's a lot There's a lot of tough
I
matchups.
I do like the Steelers a lot. That's one team I was considering, but I want to use them later in the year. That's my issue. Like I'm not wasting a pick like the Steelers week 1. The other team I was looking at is honestly the Rams.
Against the Colts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one.
Yeah, I like that. I think if I had to pick one, I would just go Steelers. I mean, they're playing the Cleveland Browns. They're gonna start off with a win.
Yeah.
What does scare me is they're playing on the road there, but
I do like the Steelers.
that spread is too high.
Yeah, that's
to
true.
not like that.
And I get you want to use them later in the year, but this is a week where I don't know if you can afford to do that.
Yeah, I locked my entry and I went Bills, but I do like the Steelers. I think like 4 or 5 people went Steelers too. Someone went Patriots on Thursday morning too, which was funny. But all right, so we covered just about anything. Do you guys want to run through anything else? Or are you guys good?
I think we should each give like 2 must-haves for cash games. Like who are you guys like must-haves?
Okay. So you can kick it off though. Who do you got? So we're talking cash games, you said.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Kick it off, Jacob.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna stay with the Cardinal side of the ball. I'm gonna go David Johnson and Larry Fitzgerald. I think these guys, you just plug them in. That's where I'm at.
Okay.
I like it. I'm gonna roll with Doug Baldwin for sure, and I definitely like David Johnson too. But I'm gonna roll with Kelvin Benjamin and Doug Baldwin.
Okay. I'm going with Doug Baldwin and Todd Gurley. Those are my 2. I'm between David Johnson and McCoy. I'm struggling right now. I'm looking at my lineup. If I might go down to Evan Ingram and cash now, in all honesty, with Price with Odell out.
That's actually I didn't think of that, but that's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, late hammer too.
Do we know
I could go.
Is New York going to play 2 tight end sets with Red Ellison? Or is he – because I know we
Ellison's blocking tight end, though, so I don't really know.
I know, but they're still going to have to play – they're probably going to play more 2 tight end sets now with Odell out. So, yeah, actually, I like that a lot.
What do you think of that, Jacob? If I go – so I have McCoy and Ertz right now. What about Johnson and Ingram over that?
I don't know, man. I'm not really about it. I just don't feel Evan Ingram today. I think that game hits the under. I just don't see it, honestly. I know a lot of people do, but
I think at the end of the day, I'll probably stick with my gut, which is fading David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, and cash. So my gut might destroy me today.
So
but
who are your cash running backs if you don't have David Johnson and Bell? You have Gurley and who else?
McCoy.
Gurley and McCoy. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't care if people are listening to our lineups. My cash lineup is Russ Wilson, McCoy, Gurley, Baldwin, Crabtree, Fitz, Ertz, Dan Bailey, LAD.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good.
So I'm feeling pretty good about it. So let me see. Last question we got from Ed. People sleeping on Cooper? Question mark. I've seen Crab get a ton of love. I think Amari Cooper is a better GPP play than Crabtree, but I'd take Crabtree in cash. That's my answer. What about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, there was you tweeted out that stat the other day. Cooper just doesn't score touchdowns.
He's had 0 targets in his career within the 10-yard line.
Right.
0.
He's a lot better athlete. Like I think he's a better receiver, to be honest. But he's just not a red zone guy, so you got to rely on yards, which isn't always a great idea.
Ed, to answer your question from my perspective, I am in love with Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Honestly, if Doug Baldwin wasn't around the same price point, I would play Amari Cooper in cash. He's just a playmaker. He's so safe. He's in this high total game. Yeah, he doesn't score the ball a lot, but in retrospect, he kind of does. Like he might not get those targets within the 10-yard line, but he will. He's a playmaker. So the fact of the matter is, I think he does get in the end zone today. I think he does.
Yeah, and the thing is, and like you said, he doesn't get the red zone plays, but his touchdowns are big. Like that'll get you 60 yards in a score.
What is his average touchdown? It's like 37 yards or something crazy like that. Like that's like his average touchdown catch. That's insane.
Yeah, that's nuts. I personally love both plays. I prefer the safety of Crabtree and cash.
Yes, I agree. I agree with that. But Cooper, yes, is a great option.
I also I think of Amari Cooper, and I think of a player who's every year he's going to get better. Like he just strikes me as a guy who has incredible work ethic. I remember in Alabama, he was very driven guy, always working out. I think I could see a breakout. I mean, you could say he had broke out last year, but now I'm thinking about it, I kind of love Cooper.
Yeah. So Ed, hopefully answered your question. All right. Anything else before we get going?
I think we're good. Let's go make
Clutch.
some money.
Let's go win some money, guys. Week 1. Let's do it.
All right, let's go win some money. You guys know where to find us. Jacob is at DFS Clutch Boy on Twitter, at JMets34, at Joyce_Ben, at FanForecast, fantasy-forecast.com. Shoot us. I mean, all three of us are here to answer your questions on Twitter.
I'm
DMs, shoot us.
a lot, but feel free to shoot me anything in my apps. I'll try to get to anything I can.
Yeah, same here. Just shoot it in our mentions. But yeah, let's go win some money. Let's do it. And for those of you,
hey guys, I'm all in today. Let's do it. I'm ready to go.
Let's do it. Let's see. I want to see winning lineups tonight. So even if you didn't use our help, just tweet us your winning lineups. I want to see them.
Yep.
All right, guys. Good luck week 1. See you later.